think it is time to try out the very first fermented vegetables I've ever made. If they're done and if they're ready, then they can go into the refrigerator and then sit in the refrigerator until they're eaten, or else, I mean, a lot of things say like several months, but then some people say kind of indefinitely. I think it really doesn't matter because they're gonna get eaten anyway. I'm gonna open up the okra first. Kind of just want to see if there's any. I don't see any mold or anything. It smells pretty good. Now I'm not really expecting these to be very great because I didn't really do it very well to begin with, so they're probably not going to be very crunchy, and they might even be really stringy and not good. So okay, so it's not bad actually. I mean, the taste isn't super good because, I mean, just because I just kind of put in some onions and some garlic and that's pretty much it. But it's definitely not bad. Kind of better than I was expecting, to be honest, especially since these didn't do super well. I'm just gonna put this back on here temporarily. Let's try the pickles, if I can open it. I put these things on really, really tight. Okay, see, some of the like pieces of onion floated to the top, and some of that I think kind of molded, which I know people talk about like just scraping that out. Okay, I got a spoon. I'm just gonna scoop some of this stuff that looks like it's kind of moldy out, and it really actually looks like it's seeds from the pickles and maybe some like pieces of the onions. Not really sure. I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna go for it. And again, not really expecting too much here. This is really just my first go at this. And these cucumbers that I used aren't actually pickling cucumbers. Now, I mean, every cucumber can be pickled, but I think some are just more conducive to doing a good job and staying crisp. So I mean, again, not like super flavorful. They're actually really garlicky. And I didn't feel like I put that much garlic. Maybe I put a lot of garlic for these small containers. Again, it's not bad, but not super great taste. So which just means I need to try out different spices and different amounts of onions and different amounts of dill and stuff like that. So, you know, it's a learning experience. Overall, I think I did fine. One thing that I do think that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and purchase some actual weights that are made specifically for this process. And I didn't do that originally because they're kind of expensive. I mean, it might be worth it if I'm having to do this with these bags, you know, like that's just kind of a pain in the butt. So it might be worth it. But yeah, we have lots of cucumbers. I'm gonna have plenty of okra, so I should be able to do this several more times this summer, hopefully, and kind of dial in the recipe that I want to do. So as I was cleaning up, I was thinking that I should probably be like really specific so that I can go back and kind of remember what I want to do to change the recipe for these, since I don't think they taste that great. So I'm thinking probably try no garlic. I could try less garlic, but I'm probably just gonna see if I just take the garlic out, if that kind of takes away some of the flavor that I don't like. And the thing is that I do like garlic. I just don't know if I like it in the fermenting process there. So I want to take garlic out completely and then actually add some of the pickling spices that I have now that I didn't have when I made that batch. I want to do that for sure. I want to try putting more dill in because I didn't really taste the dill, and put some of the dill seeds in too because I didn't have any dill seeds at that point either. So put the dill seeds in, put more dill in, no garlic. I think the onion was fine. Yeah, that's a good start. It's about to be an influx of green material from mowing the lawn this weekend to going into the compost, so I'm gonna balance that out with some brown. cardboard. But before I do that, I've got to rip off all the tape and labels, and then everything else can go in the compost. Would it be completely irresponsible of me to buy a new lawnmower? I really want an electric lawnmower. Like, yeah, they're expensive, but like to never have to worry about gas and to be, you know, environmentally friendly and to not have all the maintenance, you know? It'd just be nice. Also, the lawnmower that I have is not great. It's not self-propelled, which isn't that big of a deal, but it would be nice. Anyway, I've decided to cut the side yard today, so I don't have so much to cut tomorrow or Sunday or whatever. Alright, easy enough. Now I'm gonna dump this grass into the compost. More green material. Oh yeah, the other reason that I kind of want a new lawnmower is because the bag on this one just isn't very good. It's very kind of small, and the grass doesn't like stay in it very well when it's on the mower, and so it doesn't even get full. It gets like a quarter full, and then it like doesn't work very well. So, and I'm kind of, you know, right now the emphasis is composting. So I'm bagging everything, and when I have to empty out the bag a million times while I'm trying to cut just 1 yard, it's kind of annoying. Which that yard was only fit in one bag because the grass wasn't very tall. I went ahead and cut it kind of before it got too tall, but like the backyard, there's a lot of grass, so it would be nice to have like a decent bag that actually held a whole lot of stuff, so I didn't have to empty it out a million times every time I cut the grass. So the first company that I called about wood chips, and the guy was like, yeah, we're looking for places to drop wood all the time. Like, I'm sure we can bring you a truckload. And it's been like over a month. And he hasn't called back or anything. Well, I went by one of his yards today. I just drove by it, and there's like 3 big piles of wood chips. So I called, but no one answered the phone. But I left a message, and I was like, hey, are you selling that, or are you giving it away? Like, what are you doing? And I don't know. And I guess they're gonna call back at some point, but they haven't yet, so it's kind of frustrating. Not the end of the world, but I also think I already mentioned that I contacted a whole bunch of other, like 6 other places, and I only heard back from one of them. Hopefully, we would get wood chips relatively soon. I am in need of a covering for the garden that we have now. So I'd like to put wood chips around that. Definitely. But then also all the other places that I want to put it too. I want to create something special in this space. So it's just a little bit frustrating when there's a snag in the process. But I'll figure it out. It'll get worked out. And last thing I'm gonna do today is I need to tend to these cucumbers a bit because they are getting like caught in the fence and in the chicken wire, and which is not ideal because some of them are definitely not going to be very usable because they get caught in the chicken wire and the fence, and then it makes them bend really drastically, or they just like get suffocated and one part of it is getting strangled by that chicken wire.